All right, team, what's going on? I'm Tim Jenkins. Welcome to All Things QB, where I watch every single clip and we break down the most important ones. Today, we've got Bo Nix, Week 16 against the Jacksonville Jaguars, a tough loss for this Broncos team. But before we jump into it, please FTA this thing, which means comment for the algorithm. Make sure you like this video and make sure you're subscribed to the channel. If this is your first video with us, welcome to the channel. And I always say you can wait till the end of this video and hopefully I will earn that subscription. Before we dive in, guys, please continue jumping over and joining the FTA Army. We have memberships just launched. You can do the FTA Army or the Film Junkie level. We've got an extended cut Broncos breakdown for members only dropping tomorrow. I hope you guys enjoy that. I do want to highlight one more thing, which is priority response to comments. If you've been commenting and you're like, man, Tim's not getting back to me, if you join that membership, man, I can hammer out the responses to our membership comments. So please consider jumping over there and doing that. If not, no worries. I hope you guys have a great Christmas with friends and family or loved ones, whoever's around you. And without further ado, let's jump into the film. All right, team, we are opening up with this one. We've got a little action, Oklahoma route to Sutton. Really love the design. Great little way to isolate Sutton on the backside, utilize action and try to hold guys inside. You guys know I'm a huge fan of the run action where we're pulling guys up front versus just the play action where it's, hey, just our back and our quarterback. But look at this thing. Really a two-man concept. We'll get our back out as flat control. But what we're doing here is we're going to pull. We're going to pull right here. So we're going to pull our guard. Boom. We've got our action here before our back's in the flat. That's just to sell a little bit of run action, right? Bo's going to be straight drop back. We've got our 6-step Oklahoma route. Okay, just a deep out. Inside, we've got this little post. Sorry, too, if you hear me moving a cough drop around. It's just, we're not feeling great at Jenkins' house. But really, I'm guessing you're just reading this thing 1 to 2. Potentially, if you get split safety, maybe you can peek this. The thing about that is we don't really have anybody to hold here. So let's say that, you get your eyes to this safety's out here. This guy might look wide open, but we might end up getting this backside safety sliding underneath. So I really don't think that's a great look. Honestly, maybe even post safety man-to-man would be a better look for that. With that being said, Sutton does a great job winning on his route. Crossing the corner's face. Bo does a really good job of being on time. This offense, here's what was tough about this one, was this offense I thought was rolling in the first half. The first half, man, I thought was really clean offensively from the Broncos. And then we just kind of started to fall off. Okay, here, so we had the good on the deep, though, not the deep, but the Oklahoma route. Then we come back and we just get a body up. We're more physical than you, back shoulder. Right? We've just got guys being dudes. We've just got football players that are better football players. Okay? Love the aggressive nature of just even the thought process from Bo to get there. Love the aggressive nature of it. Right? What are the Jags in? They're in some, a hybrid 3, right? Because to me, we got this safety walking down. This has every characteristic of cover 3. With the fact that we've got this locked. Okay, so it looks to me like locked coverage here, and then everybody else is playing zone. You guys see how these are all zone droppers underneath, right? But that's definitely man-to-man up at the top. So, in terms of what the Broncos are doing, the Broncos, they just have to Sutton's side, they have stick. So we got this mandatory outside release fade. We got the stick route underneath. Out here, we've got the Okie route with a stick. Bo's really probably just in a pick a side, right? Split this thing right down the middle. Either pick stick or pick Okie, right? Okie would be the out, right, with the stick. Okay, stick is the fade with the stick, okay? He's just picking a side. He likes his matchup with Courtland Sutton one-on-one. Anytime as a quarterback you're thinking about this back shoulder fade, you're thinking about, hey, You know, is my receiver on top of the DB? Are we winning or are we even or behind? If we're even or behind, this back shoulder's in play. Obviously, if we've stacked him and we're going, that's the one you want to put all the way out here. Okay, Bo looks out there, kind of assesses where this DB is. DB's on top shoulder. Bang. Hit the back shoulder. Let Sutton get big, physical. Just win. Just win that thing. That's exactly what he does. Looking at Bo's feet here. One skip. Love the drop. Love the flatness of that football. That's what's necessary for some of these where it's like you're going to drive this thing in there. You got to be flat with it. That's a great job. It's a really great job. This one, team, I flat out love, man. We've got Jalapeno here. Okay, which is the double post with the deep over. And we are going to pop our tight end wide open on this. Love the design. Little pre-snap motion. Getting an orbit, little orbit fake. We got great flat control. This one is spicy. This one is really spicy. This orbit motion too. Man, just a premier look for it too, okay? Because we got what I would call cover 6. So we've got cover 2 to the boundary, right? And then we've got quarters to the field. Okay, so we've got cover 6. What we're going to have here is we got this double post, right? Double post is a pepper concept. And then you're pairing that with a deep over, right? That's what makes it jalapeno, just a little bit spicier. We've got this motion guy in here. He's going to work all the way around over here. We've got a little, and then Bo's going to spin on the action. Then we've got our back working over here for this flat control. To me, you've got this as a reverse ladder, okay? You can alert this, but this is really 1 to 2 to 3, right? Take a peek at this deep post, get to the deep over, all the way down to the read flat. You guys got me? These defenders, right, we're probably going to end up taking these two with these posts, okay? Then it's going to be about whether this guy gets underneath the deep over or if he gets a little greedy with this flat control, all right? That's how all this is going to shake out. So you got that action. You can see the safety and the corner both going with those posts. You can see that underneath defender getting a little greedy with that flat control, trying to midpoint it. Guess what? We're going to sneak that deep over behind him for a huge chunk play. One is awesome. Well designed, well executed. Man, this is Bo. Look at Bo being patient here. Patience in the pocket. Patience. Let work the concept. Really well executed. Really well executed. Great patience. Boom. Driving that thing in there. It's exactly what you want to see. Sorry, team. This might be my favorite rep from the entire game for this Broncos offense. Okay, when you're down in the red zone, you're down in that high red, low red area, you've got to have cover 0 answers. And this is flat out perfect recognition, reaction. I love that we have a cover 99 answer. Okay, cover 99 is cover 0. Okay, you can either call it cover 0 or call it cover 99. Call it cover 99 if you want to sound cool. You know, but that is, and I mean the placement of this thing. So first and foremost, let's talk through one, what that little thing does right here. Okay. We've got this ref stop and play, but that doesn't matter because what we're going to use this guy working across the formation as a man zone indicator. So if we get this guy, you're going to see number 2. He'll work his way out here. If number 2 runs with him, we right now know that we got a really good shot at man-to-man. Okay? If number 2 kind of bumps into here and everybody else bumps over, we know it's a good shot at zone. Okay? So let's watch this. You got this pre-snap motion. All right, what's number 2 doing? Okay, number 2's running across the formation. So right there, you start thinking man-to-man. Then you start to see this look. okay, where you've got every DB at just about the same level. That starts really triggering you to thinking, okay, hey, we got zero here, right? We got something's up. My rabbit ears are going up. We got something. Something's coming here, okay? So right now you think it's man-to-man, 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 zero across the board, right? Which means we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 guys getting after us, and we're at most going to have our 5 down and our back staying in. So at best, we're 6 on 7. Okay, not feasible. Guess what, though? The Broncos have a perfect cover zero beater, being that Cortland Sutton, their best receiver, is in the slot right here, and he's going to run a slot fade. The most dynamic thing about a slot fade is that it gives you all this grass to work with as a quarterback. If you throw the fade outside, it's still a quality play, but you start to get limited by that sideline. When you move that guy in to where now you're throwing that slot takeoff, man, you get zero. This is perfect. You got a lot of room to work. Bo knows that, hey, we're going to slide this line to the right. So he knows I got to float to the right. I got to work to the right. Find Sutton as my one-on-one. Give him time to get down the field and throw this fadeaway touchdown. And that is as good of a cover zero throw as you're going to see too. Okay, so a perfect route by Sutton. Well executed by Bo. Ends in 6 for the Broncos. And then again, if you start beating pressure down here, right? You get in the red zone. People start heating you up. You start winning against pressure looks. People tend to not want to pressure you anymore, right? They tend to play coverage. A little bit better situation for you as a quarterback if you can beat pressure, man. You have a good pressure plan, you can beat it. We're going to be all right. Look at that. That is awesome. Get that thing up and down. Drop it right in the bucket. A little float. Man. That is good. That is good. All right. This one's tough because we've got a bad miss on sprint here. Let this thing roll, but you can see slight movement in the pocket. And then just way behind Sutton on this over route. Look at it from the tight. Man. You can see what the Broncos are trying to do. They're trying to set up just a little bit of dash footwork, we would call it, where it's like your first step's almost straight back and then you sprint out. Okay. And they're trying to set up this basically, like, to me, it's kind of Y cross-ish, where we have this guy, he's on the deep post, right? Then we have Sutton, he's on this over route, and then we have the dig behind it. So to me, I'm thinking you're alerting this post, but it's really 1 to 2. Bo's going to take that step back and sprint, okay? Coverage-wise, you're getting single high, right? You're getting cover 3 to me. Obviously, that sprint out is a little bit harder to get all the way back to this dig route, right? When you're doing this dash footwork, it's always a little bit harder to then get back to that dig because you've got the over chasing you, and then you've got the dig, and to get the full reset back, never easy as a quarterback, but we just flat out missed this thing. You look at it from the tight, you'll see, hey man, we got a little bit of a window here if we want it. You can see the dash footwork that I'm talking about, where that first step's kind of back and then we sprint out. Hey, why would you even do dash footwork? Because a lot of times that just single step back in the NFL, because these guys are so good up front, they start to set their launch point, they start to set their rush based on where they think your launch point is going to be, which is straight back. So if you take that and then get out of there, it can sometimes be easier for your linemen to work to these outside shoulders for you to have time on the sprint, versus if it's a direct sprint, they tend to redirect a little bit quicker. You can see where if he's in front he probably has a shot, right? We got a little bit of separation here. This thing's just straight up. That's just a straight up miss. Like, I don't really have a lot for it or a lot about it, other than the fact that, yeah, that just is a flat out. That's flat out miss. Okay? We need this one, man. A little bit of trick play dialed up. Gosh, we need this one. Really underthrown. It's one of those two where I'm tempted to think, man, you almost get that underthrown deep ball. You almost get that underthrown deep ball PI, right? But I don't know why they didn't throw that. Why they didn't throw the flag, but simultaneously, that's one that Bo needs to put some more sauce on, obviously. And then Sutton needs to, I mean, it feels like he gets both hands on this thing. He's going to have to make a play on it. We're in Wildcat, right? Okay, Bo Nix out here. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to motion here. We're going to make it look like jet sweep. Bo's going to pop back. We'll flip it to Bo. I want you guys to watch Sutton because on these trick plays, it's all about, hey, your receiver, coming off the ball, pretending like he's going to block and then getting vertical. That's the only way these plays win is if your receiver, doesn't just go sprinting down the field. Sutton does a really good job getting hands on guys, making it seem like, oh, he's working up to the secondary and then he's just running by him. Shoot, when we're at our best spot, we're dang near 5-yard separation on this vertical. We got to come down with that thing. We got to drive the football down the field if we're our quarterback. If we're our receiver, if we get hands on this thing, we got to make a tough play. We just had so many of these where it's like Bo was slightly off, and then we didn't end up making the play as a receiver as well. Like, two things can be true. This ball should have been thrown further down the field, and we're allowed to make the tough ones to bail our quarterback out. Right? Both of those things can be true at the same time. All right, team, it is halftime. We're 6 clips into this thing. We've got 6 more clips to go. But before we do that, guys, memberships. We just launched memberships, the FTA Army. We've got a members-only extended cut Broncos breakdown dropping tomorrow. So please consider jumping over there and fueling the growth of this channel. You guys that go over there and do the membership, it means the world to me, but it helps me continue to pump out consistent content and prioritize this as a part of my day. So guys, please, please, please consider jumping over there and doing the memberships. But you guys know the deal. Without further ado, let's jump back into the film. All right, team, I love this third down call here. I'm always a big fan of things that I see on tape where it's like, all right, that's a great conversion. And then can we continue to utilize plays in similar form or fashion later in the season? But I love this, man. You get the guy on the point going vertical. You get the guy in his vapor trail sitting down. And then you just generate an easy pitch and catch for your quarterback. That's a quality third down look. That's quality third down design. Well executed. Up front, too. Great job on the pickup. So here we start in 3-by-1, right? We start in trips. We're going to work. Then we're going to motion 2-by-2. And we're going to motion to more of a stack look. Okay, so we'll get this stack look. And then we just get this little switch release. So look, you guys can see it. We start in 3-by-1, motion to 2-by-2. Okay. And then what we're going to get is we're going to get this guy on the point. He's running the corner. We're going to get this little switch release where we then hop inside. We get up in his vapor trails and we go, right? Because we get this little switch release, stack release type deal where we get this. I apologize. It's flipped. It is flipped from what I told you. So we get this where it's this guy's on the point and then he's going. And then we get that little switch release inside and then sit down. Okay. But because of the switch release, that's what then gets to where you get all this vertical 6 can't sit in here and jump it. You get the pressure off of this. This guy's technically the guy who's responsible for bailing out underneath it, and there's just no shot that he's going to get there. Right? Boom. Put the ball on him. Generate a big play. Smooth, easy, third down conversion. Exactly what you want. Exactly what you want. Make third and medium. Hey, we're going to move the chains. We're going to keep moving forward. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, ball. Yeah. Freaking love that, man. Love that one. Great pickup from the line, too. Golly. This play is just brutal. This one hurt, man. This is just awful. This is as bad as it gets. Man, that's horrible. Oh, man. That one's rough. So you sit here and you look at this thing and you go, all right, what are they trying to do? They're trying to get a little bit of read zone accomplished, right? So what they're going to do is anytime you run a read zone, if you don't know, right, you're going to leave one of these guys, usually the DN, usually the backside DN, unblocked, all right? So we're going to be here with our running back, and then our tight end's actually coming around to wrap to help. So we've got here and here. We've got 2 guys, boom, more like that, okay? Then everybody else is working. Okay, we're working here. Okay, we're getting +1 because we're reading a guy and our quarterback's involved. So Bo, if this guy comes and runs down to take the running back, Bo's going to pull it and he's going to keep it. If he works upfield, okay, Bo's going to end up giving it, and this guy won't be able to get there to make a play. All right, so now you guys watch this unfold. Boom. It looks to me like Bo is trying to pull it. I mean, who knows, right? Because it's like you would think if he's trying to pull it, the ball doesn't go on the ground. It looks like maybe it's a tweener read for him. He's not sure. But shoot, man, if Bo Nix pulls this football, we've got our guy here. Bang. He's going to either get vertical inside, get the first down, bounce this thing outside, get the first down. This is probably a pretty quality play, pretty quality run if we don't put this thing on the ground. Instead, we do the one thing you can't do, and we just straight up put the ball on the ground. This is all just reps, man. These backs and these quarterbacks need reps at this, right? So you don't end up, hey, you got to know what a pull feels like. You got to know what a give feels like. Man. Okay, we're going to bounce back, and we've got a good here. Okay, we got a great little design. This is awesome. When you see this from a design perspective, you're going to fall in love with it. It's a huge, huge play in the grand scheme of this game. Man, it's awesome. Every aspect of this thing is well designed. So let's first start with what we're trying to accomplish backside, because what I think is so important about a play like this is when you're trying to hit a ball all the way across the field is you've got to make sure you hold these backside corners in the NFL. So what you're going to see Sutton do is Sutton's going to sell like he's running an over route, and then he's going to pull back out. We call that a float route, okay? So we've got a float route here. That's designed to hold this corner. Then what we're going to do here is we're going to make it look like we're running sail, because it looks like we're running some sort of quarterback movement here with this sail route. Instead, we're going to look like sail, and then we're going to work all the way across the field on what we would call a country route. Here, we're going to make it look like we got ourselves a double move going vertical, okay? But the goal of this is that this guy crosses the safety's face, and the float route holds the corner, all right? So if you look at this, we've got action. It looks like boot, okay? And when it looks like boot, that's why the safety starts to get a little bit greedy on the sail, because he thinks, oh, sail's coming. Instead, it's boot throwback. And so this corner gets caught up with Sutton's float route. So then there's no help for this safety, and Bo can just fire this thing down the field, and it's a perfect throw. It's a perfect throw. It's a great route. Overall, great concept. Look at Bo's feet here. Watch him. Sell the boot. Boom, pull up. We got throwback. And then look at where he puts that ball, man. That is perfect. That's growth, too, because I feel like we've missed one of these this season where it was like he was more inside than he should have been. This one, he throws to the exact spot that it's supposed to be. Look at that, man. That is so great. That is so great. Man, that is awesome. That is absolutely awesome from Bo. Great design. All the way around what you want to see from a shot play in the NFL. This one I've got as a no grade, okay? I've got as a no grade. I've got as a no grade, almost have it. This one is, yeah, this is a hard one for me because, so what we're trying to accomplish, we're going to motion across, we're going to do this flash action. What we're hoping to do is we're hoping to get a cheap one. Because what we're actually hoping to get is this guy in the flat right now, right? We're hoping to run a little bit of action and get this guy in the flat right now as a cheap one. Then what we've got is we've got these two over routes where we're hoping that these guys pick each other, right? Not each other. They pick each other's defender, okay? So you're really going to read this thing 1 to 2, and then what's going to happen is our tight end's going to be on a little slow leak. So you read this thing 1 to 2 and then get all the way back here for 3 if none of these guys pop, right? So right here, right now, boom, you can see Jags do a really good job playing our fullback in the flat, right? We got no chance. Okay, so then Bo starts to climb the pocket because there's a little bit of pressure there too. And then Sutton pops, right? Sutton pops across this formation. We've got a chance. Bo just fires this thing hard and outside, and then Sutton doesn't make the play. So again, it's another one of those where is Bo's spot great? No, it is not. It is simply not a great spot. However, is there a chance that Sutton could make a great play here? Yeah, probably not, honestly, looking at this now. Like, he barely gets one hand on it. Sure, could he make an incredible one-handed catch? Yeah. That thing is just hard and sprayed by Bo. You just got to put this on his chest, you know? I think this was a huge moment in the game. This was one of those pivotal moments, I think, where if the Broncos convert, there's a really good chance they win the game, in my opinion. If they don't, it's starting to become more slim by the second, and that's just exactly what happens. This went from a no grade to a bad. That's just on Bo. Great job finding space in the pocket by climbing, but then we've got to put that thing on our receiver's body. We can't be that far. We just can't be that far and outside. All right, team, this one I just love because we're going to highlight that Harvey's just simply a great football player, hard to bring to the ground. We talk about his big run, too, in the extended cut. So if you do want to see that, pop over there, grab a membership. We got the extended cut breakdown dropping tomorrow. But this is it's just hilarious. Look at this. Nope. I'm just going to get my tail down the sideline. You're still not even going to bring me down. What's funny about this, too, is great players make everything better. So if you look at this, what they're trying to accomplish is they're trying to get these double runoffs here, in my opinion. We got this guy here on the post. We got a little out and up. And then we got this over route coming with a flat route. I think we're supposed to hit this over route. Okay? Bo ends up getting to his back, And that's what, to me, I've always thought to myself, great players can make a lot of stuff correct, because I do think, like, there's a good chance to hit this thing right here. Instead, Bo gets to his back. We've got enough sink in the coverage where you go, okay, hey, I get what you're thinking, right? We got sink in, we got our coverage getting soft. Let's get to our check down, get to your back, and then, you could hit the over route for 20 yards, or you could just get it to your back and he'll get you 32 yards. Like, that's just good stuff from our running back. There are definitely a lot of positives on the tape. There are a lot of positives on the tape. Okay? Whether it be in the run game or the pass game, there were a lot of positives on the tape. We were just too close. Like, oh, hey, man, if this goes this way, or this does this, or this does this. There were just too many one play away type clips for us to have won this game against a good Jacksonville team. That's a good Jaguars team, And then this one's obviously the interception to seal it. I don't necessarily agree with the decision, right? I think you sit there and you go, first, the formation, I'm not really sure. This, obviously, you guys know, looking at it. We'll go back on the why, but I want you guys to tell me if you recognize this play. Okay? This was the slot fade cover 0 answer, right? We got Sutton in the slot. He's running that fade again. Okay, this time, though, they're just in what we would probably call 2-man, right? I mean, or you could just say flat out cover 2, honestly, because of the way they're playing this thing. But, 2-man, it's tough for me to say 2-man because of this guy's drop. With that being said, you've got the split safeties here and here. Okay, looks to me more like man coverage than a zone coverage pre-snap alignment. So is it 2-man and he's just playing like a little bit of trying to take away like a juke route? Maybe. But I think, to me, if I'm Bo, I'm not really sure this will, even if it is a one-on-one matchup. Now, this corner snaps his head around like he's playing more like a cloud. Anyways, I'm not sure I love that throw into that versus like even just trying to bang the stick route on time, right? Even if you don't like the slot fade against 2, which why would you? Man, you could take that stick route right here, right now to your tight end, and we probably convert. We keep the game going. Okay, we keep the chains moving. We kind of stay in it. We have a chance. Instead, we force it backside, and I don't like the decision. I don't like the football. All in all, it's a poor one. I hate ending on the bads, but when you lose football games, that's what's going to happen. So where do we go from here? Where we go from here is you got a short week against Kansas City. Okay, banged up Kansas City team. You got to take advantage, right? If you take advantage and the Chargers drop, hey, boom, division sealed right there. You got to take advantage, and then you go into week 18, right? Week 18, yeah. And you probably got a shot at the 1 seed, definitely a shot at the division. You just got to do it, right? Now you got to execute. To me, it's kind of got away from us because there are plays on tape where you go, okay, hey, the trick play, if we hit that, is it different? Oh, we climb in the pocket, we spray it to Sutton, is it different? I think all those things, it's different. However, it didn't. It wasn't, right? So now what do? Now you got to go fix it. Big one this Thursday. You cannot drop this Thursday. You're facing a beat-up Chiefs team. You got to put them away. You got to own them start to finish. You have to, okay? Then you beat the Chargers. You secure the division, probably the 1 seed if you execute all that. If you win out, you're the 1. If you don't, New England's schedule looks like they're probably going to win out. So to me at this point, it's like the Broncos have to win out. So if they want the 1 seed. But all in all, still confident in this team. You guys comment, let me know what you think, and then consider jumping over there, joining the FTA Army for a membership, and then watch the extended cut breakdown tomorrow. And until next time, peace.